We all remember Breonna Taylor, right? EMT who was killed in her home by police who served a no-knock warrant on her residence. Oakland, California commissioned and erected a statue in Breonna Taylor's name for their city. And it was going perfectly fine and well, just, a statue doing its thing, sitting and honoring the memory of someone who was murdered in their home by the state. Until, that is, conservatives got their hands on it. Here's what the statue looked like originally. When it was first put up, it was put in a center for peace. It's just a nice memorandum for Breonna Taylor. And yeah, I thought conservatives love statues. They've been crying all year about how much we need to preserve history and love our statues. But as soon as a statue goes up against someone they don't like for whatever fucking reason, they destroy it. This is what they did. Massive ceramic statue that they vandalized. They just broke massive chunks off of. And even if you don't like the BLM protests or anything, what did Breonna Taylor do? Why are you destroying her statue? Like, at the very least, it makes sense for people to destroy statues of like literal slave drivers, like people who raped, murdered, and tortured people and kept humans as as work pets until the day they died and brutally tortured them. Those sorts of people, listen, that wouldn't pass anywhere. You can try to say that you should like scrub that away because they did other things that were cool too. But at the very least, you should come to recognize the things that these people did wrong. What did this person do wrong? Like, what was it to have their statue destroyed? Rioting it? Yeah, Breonna Taylor, as a ghost, puppeting the strings of Antifa, Black Bloc, rioting and or looting. Yep, she's up there with Hugo Chavez. She's sipping margaritas and I don't know, controlling the world from far atop their cloud thrones. After they actually killing her only made her stronger. But jokes aside. And less than 2 weeks after it was unveiled, a ceramic bust in Oakland, California, honoring Breonna Taylor was vandalized, as per the New York Times. In this past Tuesday, the artist behind the work, Leo Carlson, argued that the vandalism piece has now been stolen. After the piece was battered in several places, Carlson set up a GoFundMe page to rebuild the broken statue in Sunder bronze material. The statue said, "Say her name," and it was perfectly fine. So this isn't something that's new. Okay. And I'm not just talking about Breonna Taylor. I want to broaden this out to talk about memorializing the harm done to Black Americans in the country and America as a country coming to reckon with the problems that it's been that has been facing it and what it's done wrong to her people ever since it's existed. And this isn't the only memorial for Breonna Taylor that has been vandalized. Here's another one in my state of Kentucky, in Louisville. This on the right off the freeway in Louisville was vandalized as well. Near her home, they just splattered red paint over her forehead. I'm not sure how this necessarily got here, but hopefully they'll be looking into it. Oprah Winfrey put up 26 billboards in the city earlier the month to honor Breonna Taylor, and people can't help but use them to vandalize. So, like I said, this isn't anything new. Do you guys remember Emmett Till? Emmett Till was a young black kid way back when whose body was found in a river after he was presumably tortured and killed by a group of white men. And it was a really big thing to the mom had an open casket and everything to see the mutilated body, barely be able to recognize the poor kid. There are in the South, there are a bunch of memorials to him and memorials to people who've been killed, to people along those lines. And in those towns where they exist, these memorials are routinely used for vandalism, right? For people to get out their anger on these black people just crying too much about this or that, this, that, and the third, right? Emmett Till and his memorials are, routinely used as target practice. Time and time again, the state has to come by and replace the sign because it'll just be riddled with bullet holes. And people just, they don't care, or they care enough to find it and then just shoot a couple shots through it and to really send a message about how they really don't care about what happened. Even a child they don't care about. So I thought, with how much conservatives have been crying the last couple of months about how much these statues mean to them, and how much all these great statues and all being torn down, how much this means to them. You would think that they love statues, but they don't. They never cared. They never cared whatsoever. And here's Salty Cracker, this person who's come here to get to talk about how Breonna Taylor sculpture destroyed, now leftists upset over vandalism. Wow. It's crazy. Who could think about it, dude? Imagine this, dude. Someone who kept people as slaves and tortured them. You don't like statues of them, but a person who was murdered by the state? What? A statue of them being vandalized is bad? What? Yeah, really living up to his name. Conservatives being hypocrites? I can't believe it.
These idols to racism. We went out there and we found another one of these statues, and we yanked that son of a bitch down and we smashed it up into smithereens, because it's 2020, my friends, and that's how we deal with statues. I can't wait to be celebrated by the left-wing media. Another victory. And oh shit, we're not celebrating this one? Oh, it's not okay to break this statue because it's a statue of a black woman. Oh, okay. I guess that's how that works now. I guess.
Wait, you think it's bad? He unironic. Yeah, go outside. Yeah, dude, step outside of your home, please. I'm telling you, there's more outside of your home than old DC comics and your Monopoly Star Wars board, weirdo. I promise you, there's more to life than this. There's more. I promise there's more. Dude, imagine. Wait, slave driver statue bad. Someone killed by police statue good. They can't understand this. They honestly cannot possibly fathom the idea that the statues were torn down because the person was bad. Wow.
Okay to break this statue because it's a statue of a black woman. Oh, okay. I guess that's how
and
it
it's
works
just
now.
because she's black.
I guess after 9.
I'm telling you, these people unironically think that black people are the most protected group. The black people can do anything. It's like, he's probably like Nick Fuentes. He's scared when he walks around black people, not because he thinks that black people are going to hurt them, but maybe he thinks that black people's just like a privilege aura will just like damage their skin. He'll like be next to them. He'll be in their like breathing space, and then he'll be like, he'll just start getting like 3rd-degree burns on his forearms and stuff. He'll just be so close to them. Like the radiant aura of black people's privilege is just too strong for him. He's worried. He's scared sick.
No, it's part of a civil rights movement. These are freedom fighters out there fighting the racisms, man. Striking a blow to you cocksucker white people out there by ripping down your statues. Yeah, but you rip down a statue.
Maybe it's not just because they're white, and because they literally owned people. Does this guy know what slavery is? Do you think? Or do you think he cares? The Empire were literally they are. That's just what they are. Yeah, I think he's stand the Empire, dude. They love them. That's why these dudes like love Darth Vader so much. They love the fascism. They think it's epic and bog.
Of Abraham Lincoln. Fuck him. One of them white motherfuckers with one of them big old hats. Oh, you know them big old hats is to hide all his racism. No, I don't think that's how that works.
Dude, I look. Conservatives are getting better at comedy, and the left is scared. I love it when he does his lispy voice, and then he's oh, racism, they have big hat. We don't like people who tortured people as a job because they have big hat.
Ripped down a statue of Frederick Douglass. That dude was a slave, escaped slave, man. I know you guys have an allergic reaction to history, but that motherfucker.
Damn. Wait, this is a really funny part of the video too, because this Frederick Douglass statue is the second Frederick Douglass statue to be torn down in Rochester. There are 2 Frederick Douglass statues. And I looked into this because I was wondering what connection that this statue's removal had to do with BLM, like at all. Yeah, destroying statues does sound pretty fun, but especially statues of bad people. So I looked into it to see what it was about. And what happened was this statue just vanished. Okay, they're on the case and they're looking for who did it. Yeah, it's a big whodunit case, but nobody's been able to find out who. But he's going to attribute this statue's destruction to BLM because BLM's been destroying statues. So obviously they destroy a statue of Frederick Douglass because things and reasons. I will never understand the right the right-wing comic book nerds who say they're about fighting against corruption, government, and corporation. How do they not make the connection? I don't know. I don't get it, because like in all of the Captain America was fighting literal Hitler. Red Skull is literally Hitler. And then they're gonna talk about Donald Trump putting through like fascistic tendencies and banning Muslims while they have like a Captain America shield behind them, like it means anything. The civil rights statues memorializing the people who were the victims of horrible hate crimes is not something new. It's really not, and it's really harmful. It shows a massive disrespect for what these people stood for and what they did and what they suffered through. It's saying you don't care. Not only do you not care, you're going to go out of your way to invalidate the feelings, the murder, the dehumanization that's gone through with these people, not only from them, but the people who've come after them, who've also had to suffer through similar things. They don't care. Let me remind you, they never cared about Breonna Taylor's death. They're going to justify it. They never cared about any of these people who've suffered and died under a white supremacist system. They have never cared, and they never will. Conservatives, lots of these conservatives, they just don't, and they never will, because that means they have to come to grips with the reality of what this system that we're in and America has done in time. And that means actually understanding and moving away from American exceptionalism and saying that we've actually done something wrong that we need to come to grips with. They don't want to say that. So instead of doing that, they act out their anger of attacking the country with attacking these people who have done nothing but suffer and die under this regime.